Happy New Year's Eve, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Battle Talk. This is episode 29, and this is just a look back in a year of Blizzard games. But before we get into that, joining me... Oh, yeah, I'm your host, Mike. I always screw something up every week. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me, as usual, are... First off, this guy.
I'm early. I'm sitting here waiting.
I'll get it right once in my life. One day, I will get it right.
I'm early. I'm waiting for the ball to drop.
So what's new, Dom? Besides that?
Nothing. Partying.
Right. Also joining us, as usual, is this guy. Cody. Who's not here. Stop that. Just stop that.
Y'all got rickrolled.
The music is still going. Oh, I don't know why I let you talk me into that.
Do, 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 do.
Do you want me to keep playing the music? I can.
No! We're done with rickroll.
Oh, okay. So what's new?
Well, I'm here late. This is 2014. I showed up late. Stuff's still flying from the sky.
All right,
So
then.
I don't know where Dom's at, but I'm in 2014. I'm in the 2014
I'm here where the
part.
stuff is already flying.
I love chat right now. What is this, 2010? Rickroll? Apparently it is. His mind is stuck somewhere. Just look at that face. You can tell exactly where it came from. So like I said, a year of Blizzard games. Looking back, it's been a fun year.
It has.
Yeah, it has. I was expecting you guys to add something to that.
It's been a boring year. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, we're gonna.
I mean, the
ignore
year
him.
started off. It started off great,
Yeah.
with Siege of Orgrimmar for 9 months.
Exactly.
What's that
Right.
look for?
We have to redefine. We have to figure out what your definition of great is and change it.
Why?
Well, I said it sucked.
Yeah. 9 months of Siege of Orgrimmar after... When did Siege of Orgrimmar release? The year before that?
Well, let's see. It was
April?
out before BlizzCon of last year because they did the raid from BlizzCon at BlizzCon.
So another 9 months of Siege of Orgrimmar on top of the already
so it's been
8 months of
literally
Siege of Orgrimmar we had.
over a year of Siege.
So a year... Yeah.
I had fun.
Yeah, after the first day.
So, yeah, closing thoughts on Mists of Pandaria, considering
2013.
that was most of our year.
I really like the challenge modes. I feel I shouldn't have waited nearly as long as I did to do them. But
agree.
that's probably the most fun that I've had in WoW in a while, was the challenge modes. So looking forward to getting my feet wet doing them this time around.
Apparently they're doable, and apparently they're a pain in the ass right now.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately this year, this time around, I'm going to want to go for gold, even though I only went for silver last time for the mount, but I want to go for gold because those
Yeah.
weapons are amazing.
They are.
Anyway, any remarks for Mists, Cody? Besides that it was fun.
He wants to do another 9 months of Siege of Orgrimmar.
Yes, he
Screw
does.
that.
For the WoW 11th anniversary, they're just gonna release Siege of Orgrimmar LFR for
The
us.
only thing I have to say, and I'm going to go on a rant about this, and it doesn't, come off as shocking, then I'm going to come off as a rant. So I'm going to go ahead, I make it loud. So we're going to go ahead and move my microphone farther away from me and just say, I'm going to move back because I don't want to, scream into it. But, okay, I'm going to turn around so now it doesn't get really loud. Because I don't want to blow out your ears. Suck it, you stupid alliance! We goddamn won that fight! You guys have to pay 100,000 gold for yours! We won ours! We won it! It's free! Our fight is better! It's a trank! 3 is better than 2! Yes! Screw you, alliance!
What he's talking about is the Azeroth Choppers show / competition / whatever the hell that was.
Ah, rant over. I feel better.
I know. I'm just going to pretend it didn't happen.
Continue.
Okay. Azeroth Choppers was a fun thing that Blizzard Entertainment got together with the Orange County Chopper guys. That's who they are, right? Yeah. Another
No.
show I don't watch. Sorry.
It's not the Orange County Chopper guys. That's his dad's company.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
He's Paul Jr. Design.
My bad. Shows how much I pay attention to that. Anyway, they got together with
should go to the
those
Alliance.
guys and did a bike build based on Horde and Alliance. And there were two lovely designs. Horde won, because, as he said, because Horde was better. But, what'd you guys think of that? The whole bring in a TV show to promote the game was basically what they did.
I mean, I wasn't really into it, but it was a cool concept for those that were. I use the bike from time to time, but only because it shows up in my random mounts, and I don't know. It's a cool bike. It's definitely better than the crafted engineer one, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
I think it was just them trying something new and unique and different. You know, see what works for them and see what doesn't. So it opens the door for possibilities of many different things in the future.
I still like the fact that Alliance outnumbers Horde and we still beat them.
All right. No, probably some Alliance people voted for the Horde bike thinking, yeah, that just looks better.
Because it does.
It did look better.
Three treads are better. Well, 2 treads and a tire are better than just 2 treads.
I gotta agree. And now, what do you guys think about the whole Horde gets it for free if you logged in over a certain time period? Not happening anymore. Very sorry, everybody. And Alliance has to pay 100,000 gold.
Sucks to be
I
Alliance.
just want to know
Sure
what
about
happens
it.
to the Horde that didn't log in though,
I think they have to pay 100,000 gold now.
I would assume it's
because I didn't see the vendor. Is it there? I didn't even see it on the vendor.
I don't even think there's a vendor in game for it yet. There may not even be in game if you didn't, log in to
The
get it
Alliance
for free.
one is in game.
Yes, the Alliance one is in game. There is a vendor for that one, but as far as Horde goes, I don't believe there is one yet.
That's something they need to fix.
That is something they need to fix because there were...
And make it and honestly, since they won, make it 50% off. Make it 50,000 gold instead of 100,000, since technically Horde won, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I guess. It would be nice because I do know a lot of people that didn't log on during that period because their subscriptions were inactive and they were waiting for Warlords. So it would be nice to be able to get that mount for them in-game. Other news in WoW-related stuff. This is outside of WoW. Rest in peace to Robin Williams, who passed away earlier this year.
And it's really not outside of WoW, is it?
No, well, it was outside of WoW, and then Blizzard decided to immortalize him in the World of Warcraft by giving him a named NPC based off of him. A couple of them, didn't they?
the genie's the major one.
The genie is the major one. I don't know where the genie is. I haven't seen him yet.
I would assume he's in the Grand.
He's in the Grand, according to this, down on a little island in the south below Gramashar.
I believe you have to use one of those cool jetpack or gliders or whatever to get to him.
I would imagine so. That looks like where he is.
Yeah.
All right, then. That's pretty cool. I didn't know where he was. Now I'm going to go look for him. But I think it's awesome that Blizzard did that, because he was a WoW player.
Yeah, it's nice for them to actually take notice of someone who was very active in promoting their game and then to do that for them after they had passed.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad, though.
It was very sad.
I'm going to cry now.
Okay. Go back to crying. That's pretty much all that happened during Mists. I mean, it was a slow year for World of Warcraft, if you think about it.
It was.
Up
It was
until the last
definitely
month.
almost every single other game, with the exception of StarCraft, had a lot of stuff going for them.
Yeah, I mean, Look at the other games. You had Reaper, and you had a Diablo 3 expansion. Hearthstone launched, right?
It launched in
Yep, came out
January.
of beta
Yeah.
in December,
beta.
so yeah,
Right,
it's
so-
technically.
Hearthstone launched, had its first major content patch and its first expansion, all in 1 year. So a lot went
Yep.
on there, and then Heroes of the Storm went into
Heroes.
Tech Alpha.
Yeah.
But as far as WoW, first 11 months of the
And
year.
Overwatch.
Wasn't getting to that yet, but yeah, an Overwatch was announced, a new IP from Blizzard. I guess while we're there, discuss. What do you guys think of Overwatch? I might like it.
Supposedly, people have started getting invites already for it, and I'm assuming they're pro players and stuff like that. So we'll see if that's being actually true or not. Other than
In this
that,
case, I think we'd see it on Twitch. I think that's just rumors going around.
Well, I saw someone on Twitter have it. He was a pro player.
Hmm.
Now I don't know if he was actually at Blizzard testing or if he's actually got it or what.
I imagine
It remains to be seen.
if anybody had it right now, they'd be streaming the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Well, unless they're not a pro player. If they're not a pro player, I'm sure they'd try to. But if they're a pro player, I'm sure they're under a strict NDA not to. Until
Well,
their beta actually starts. Which brings me to my first question. When does beta start?
Now,
next month.
I can
If it
already
did-
tell
if
you.
probably.
I can
I'd
already tell you
probably
it
say
will not
February.
happen next month.
I'd say February.
I would agree.
February.
That's what I meant by next month. Oh, sorry. Yeah, January is the next month.
I'm gonna go with Friday, February 6th, because that's my birthday, and that would be the best birthday gift ever, Blizzard. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna go with for whatever day February 15th is.
A Sunday.
Okay,
I'm going for February 31st.
15th is a Sunday. I'm
Cody,
ignoring
really?
it. I heard what he said. Yeah. Okay. You know what? No, I'm gonna go with February 17th. And Dom, if I'm right, you tell me your middle name.
February 31st.
Wow. Wow.
Because I'm tired of guessing. I will wait a month for
Maybe.
this and leave it to a random chance.
And the only reason why it will not come out in January is because Heroes.
They
They're
probably,
not gonna overlap IPs.
as much as I want.
Not
Yeah,
gonna overlap Overwatch.
they're not going to overlap two betas. Moving Heroes, even though Heroes has been pretty stable in their tech alpha. Who knows how much they're releasing with the beta?
But if they did overlap it, then Overwatch could look over both of them.
I was distracted by something in chat. Dom, your middle name is Melvin?
No.
Oh. I was say that's a very odd name, that starts with F.
It is.
Is it
Yes.
Felvin? Is it Felvin?
Nailed it.
Yeah, totally nailed it.
I win.
Anyway, I'm excited for Overwatch, having played it at
It's-
BlizzCon.
Yeah, I mean,
all did.
obviously, I played it for I think once or twice. I can't remember now. I know once for sure. Twice, not so sure because that was a pretty long ass line.
It moved very
But,
quick, though.
It did move very quick, but I did get to play Reaper. Reaper is a lot of fun. I messed around with crap. What's her name?
Tracer.
Yeah, her. Yeah, got to play Tracer for a couple rounds. Tracer was a lot of fun because of her blink ability. That was really interesting with added with the rewind. But I just like how the fact that they're taking every hero, adding a story to it, or to those characters, and their abilities are very MOBA-ish. If that's even a word.
They're keeping it MOBA.
They're MOBA-like.
Well,
It's very MOBA-like, but the gameplay is Team Fortress 2.
yeah, it's
so-
Team Fortress 2, but instead of switching guns, you have a gun, a couple of abilities, and an ultimate.
So essentially, it's a MOBA per hero, the heroes in the hero sense, but gameplay-wise, it's definitely very, very Team Fortress 2 influenced. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing some more heroes.
Yeah, and it's sticking to the way Blizzard is doing Heroes of the Storm, which is short matches, like they're shooting for the 20-minute mark for heroes, whereas most MOBAs, League of Legends can go on for 45 minutes to an hour in a typical game. Unless they surrender at 20. but they're trying to stick to a shorter game time, and I feel they nailed that with Overwatch, because you get in, there's like a 2-minute setup time, and then you go do, and the game has a time limit. So
Well, even if you look at the way the game is set up, oh, excuse me, and I don't know if it's just the beta or whatnot, or if that's how the beta was set up when we played it at BlizzCon, or if it's actually gonna make its way into closed beta and then live. But you don't pick your character before you go into the match. You go into the match, and then you have free reign to change your character at a whim. So you're not limited to just one.
and
Like I said, it may be just how the beta was running when we were playing at a BlizzCon, but I think they're going to try and keep it that way just to keep everything going. That's why, when they mentioned, picks and bans for Heroes of the Storm, they're like, well, we don't want to add the banning stage because to us, sitting in the lobby and waiting and matchmaking is part of your gameplay time. That's part of your 20 minutes. And if
right.
you add that pick and bans to Heroes, that just extends their 20-minute time range, and that's what they don't want to do.
Right. Also, as far as Overwatch goes, there'll probably be an option in a competitive play where it's one hero per team, but for how they had it set up at BlizzCon, I think the limit was 3 or 4 or
I
something.
know there was a
remember
couple.
There were 3
Reapers
Tracers on my team at one point.
And there was 3 Reapers on my team, so
So
I don't know if there was a limit. I don't think there was.
They probably
I
didn't
know there were a
have
lot of Reinhardts, which is so weird saying.
Why is that?
because of that.
I
hammer.
wonder.
Because
Oh,
maybe your
because
last name
it's
is the same as the.
There you go. I was literally watching
God.
Tally stream, and they were talking about Overwatch, and all he was saying was Reinhardt, Reinhardt, Reinhardt. I'm like, stop saying my name. It's getting really goddamn annoying.
It just went right over my head that that's your name. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got over that. Is that over that hair?
So Overwatch, a thing. Beta hopefully starts soon. TM.
I want it really bad, and we will actually within the next couple weeks we'll be starting our own separate Overwatch podcast. So
Try.
I
stay
think.
tuned for that.
As I say, I think the premise we want to go with it is kind of like an overview of what 1 or 2 characters an episode. Keep it short, sweet, to the point, kind of thing.
Until we get more
Yep.
info dumped on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
you know,
start out. It'll
I'll-
probably be a 20-30 minute show, but yeah.
Obviously, when beta kicks off, we'll
Yep.
branch
Get
off from
more
there.
stuff. Anyway, moving right
I can't
along.
wait.
Let's scoot back to WoW. We got a couple more things to talk about before we get off of there.
Really?
Yeah, well, Warlords of Draenor did release. I mean, the
Oh.
last month of this year has been pretty big.
It's been
mean vanilla
the most
launch?
active. It's been the most active the WoW community has been in the last year.
Oh yeah, that's
Last 2
what I
months.
forgot to mention in our. It was in the miss section here. The subscription numbers. Q1 last year, 7.6 million. Q2, 6.8, and then Q3, 10 million plus.
Mm.
Are you honestly surprised?
No, I'm not surprised at all. And
I
everyone
am.
said that was going to happen.
Who are all these people coming back? I had so much going for me. I had so much gold, and ripping off all these Lobby characters on the auction house and stuff like that, and then 4 million people come back and screw everything up.
Not to mention
Yep.
that they made the auction houses cross-faction.
Yeah, that was like I mean, it's interesting and all. I still don't know how I feel about it.
For certain servers, I think it helped a lot, especially where, the population is imbalanced. I mean, say you played Horde on a server where 95% of the population is Alliance. First, you're dedicated, you should server transfer. But second, it probably helps now that you have a stocked auction house, and
Yeah,
prices aren't.
here's my gripe with it. I don't want to support the Alliance, so I have to try to add every person that I buy from the Alliance on my friends list, and if they don't add, I won't buy it.
Well, there is that.
Can't be supporting the Alliance.
Hey, as long as they pay me money, I don't give a crap.
Oh, they can give me their money, that's fine, but
I
I'm
think
not
they're
giving them my money.
Fine. All right. Anyway, Warlords was basically a simplification. Basically, back to the basics. Stats were squished down to more manageable numbers. No more million health tanks. Certain abilities were pruned off, which still pisses me off. My enhancement shaman lost a lot of his utility, and really didn't like it. And new character models. That's the winner right there.
Yeah, the new character models have been fantastic. I mean, the best
yes.
part about them is clearly the MC Hammer dance, you know?
Oh my god, that MC Hammer dance. It is pretty
I'm
entertaining.
gonna say, but the cows are back, and
Yeah,
everyone should be adoring.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the best part in yet, which we'll start 2015 off with a bang by looking at that ass.
I don't... Do I have it still? Do I have it still?
Look at that
I have
ass.
it
Look at
still.
that ass.
Why
Look
do I
at that
still
ass.
have
Look
this?
at that
This is
ass.
from a month ago.
Look at that ass.
I'm not looking at that ass.
I'm looking at it.
You guys are so... Oh, I'm reading chat right now. Moose says, I want to hear Blizzard Christmas sale numbers for Warlords and first quarter sub numbers. 10 million people play WoW now, but 1 month after launch, Blizz had only sold like 4 million copies of the expansion. Now, see, 10 million active accounts does not equal 10 million people, because there are a fair number of people who multi-box, I know that.
Yeah, I used to.
But I am curious what their Christmas numbers were, because that's when you sell a lot of everything. Christmas
Well,
time.
okay,
Yay,
so
holidays.
to be fair, Moose is only saying 4 million copies had been sold in a month.
Oh.
You're not thinking about all the pre-orders that happened. How many months when they launched the digital version on BattleNet, and adding all those, because I pre-ordered mine when it first came out on the Battle.net launcher.
I think I did too.
Those sales don't take into account the digital sales. It's only taken into account in the physical sales. So there could be a whole hell of a lot more people who actually bought, because the NPD does not track digital sales. That's how it works. They only track physical copies.
I learned something tonight. Well, there we go. So, yeah. During this time, Blizzard started the World of Warcraft 10th anniversary, which I know you guys have finished. I haven't finished the PvP section of that yet.
I was going to say, you haven't finished Molten Core yet?
Oh, I know, right? Stab myself in the eye.
Zista's done it like 100 times a day.
How many times have you done it now? Oh, he has a list. That's right. He's keeping count.
38. I haven't done it once since last week, so yeah.
This concludes the moment of silence for Zista Social Life.
38 times. I still don't have the Flames of Ragnaros. I think I gave up at this point. I don't know. I gotta do a couple runs. But did
Well,
you
if
get
you
the South Shore Slayer title yet, Mike?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You don't have much time left.
Do I care?
You've only got till Monday, by the way, to do any of this.
Hmm.
I know I have till Monday.
And let me just tell
You're
you,
not gonna get it. You're not gonna make it.
Hillsbrad is a pain in the butt to do.
Did I ever say I wanted it? I would have had it done by now if I really cared about it.
Well, obviously you're caring about it because you're talking about it.
I mean, it's a title that you're never gonna be able to get again.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to get it, and I'll have
was-
something over you.
Look, I was prompted to talk about it. That's why I'm talking about it. I frankly don't give a shit. So, I'm going to move right along.
He cares. It's just a, deep down he cares.
Warlords of Draenor launched, and the game was plagued with a variety of issues, including
It's had some great issues. What are you talking about?
the
had a
servers.
blast.
Don't you remember looking at that war map of like the War of the Worlds with like nuclear missile strikes of DDoS attacks hitting California?
I remember
fun.
getting into Tanan Jungle and seeing thousands of people surrounding this one cage and one at a time opening it.
Yep,
People
I was
yelling.
spamming that thing. I was like, it's mine,
People
it's
screaming,
mine.
invite to
Yeah.
group, invite to group, forming 5-man groups just to click on one single cage. That's what I remember. But the issues we were talking about are there was massive...
Or what about the garrison The Garrison mission where you had to
Oh,
click
the
on the
telescope?
telescope.
Oh God.
Oh, that
We
one.
literally went and did a dungeon while everyone was just standing there dancing. We're like, we're screw this. We're going doing a dungeon.
Fortunately for me, I had to go to bed that night for work the next morning, and that issue was gone by the time I got back to it.
It was gone by
Yeah,
the time.
there's the telescope and then the trees. Cutting down the trees just before that mission was a
Yeah.
big pain as well.
I imagine that was a pain. Maybe that's how they bottlenecked it, so everybody wouldn't
guys
just
see-
massive horde through the.
I think that was their intention, but I don't think they realized that it wouldn't be able to be bottlenecked to the point where you couldn't progress because nobody was able to go at that point.
Right, servers were over
So.
capacity.
Did you see the Carbot cartoon short for the Warlords launch?
I did not know.
Go to YouTube and look up Carbot Animations because they're the guys who do like the Heroes and StarCraft shorts. They have a perfect one for Warlords and it's so hilarious.
Well, I will find that in a bit.
Mhm.
But the issues they had, aside from servers over capacity, massive game lag due to the bottlenecking, too many people in one spot, break things, and they suffered a massive DDoS attack from somewhere.
Someone who I will not mention because they don't need any more publicity than they're already getting from stupid people.
Very true. So, all of that combined led
Who,
to
by the
this.
way, I will just say, now have the FBI investigating them. So
They've had for a while. Anyway, moving on,
Mm-hmm,
all of that combined, and Blizzard gave us 5 days of free game time. Woo. Which is rare, because when was the last time they gave out game time as compensation for a fuck-up?
Burning Crusade.
7 years, then?
Something like that. I went through my account history and looked. It was Burning Crusade. So.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually pretty crazy right there. But, yeah, nice of Blizzard for recognizing their mistakes and not punishing us for it. So, oh, yeah, WoW 10th anniversary we mentioned ending Monday. Don't be like me. Get your title.
see, he does care about it.
That title.
He keeps talking
He
about
does.
it, so obviously he cares about it. I don't know why he hasn't
I-
gotten it yet.
I mean, I can understand why. It's because when he goes into the battleground, right, all the enemy players are in red text, and he's colorblind, so he can't see the enemies.
Moving on in other WoW-related news. What would I call these guys? YouTube personalities, Twitch personalities, World of Warcraft pro players,
I got one word to call them.
idiots.
Idiots.
Anyway, names you might have heard before: Rekful and Sodas. Sodas was the winner, I'm told, of the BlizzCon World of Warcraft, or one of the winners of the BlizzCon World of Warcraft Arena tournament. Was that it?
Sure.
Mhm.
Like, I actually pay attention to these things. I'm sorry. Well, PvP's not my bag. I apologize. But both of them, permabanned. Accounts closed. Bye-bye.
It's a shame. It really is.
Yeah, and what was it? I know Rekful was for account sharing.
Account
Both of
ship.
them were account sharing because
They
they
both
both were sharing each other's accounts. And if you don't know, if you're watching the
They're
stream,
roommates.
account sharing is against the TOS and EULA. And for them to think they could honestly get away with it, they're stupid in the first place. And to think their popularity on Twitch and everything helps them, it just paints a bigger target on their back for them to watch them closer. And especially if you go on your stream and start bragging that you're doing it and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not very smart. Blizzard doesn't like you breaking their rules because if you're breaking the rules, you have 3K to 4K people watching you. Those 4K people think it's okay to do it, and they're going to go do it. No, that's why exactly Blizzard did it. They banned you for it. Good on Blizzard. Good on them for standing behind their terms of service and end user licensing agreement. Rekful went out on Twitter and says, and tweeted Blizzard CS saying, 10-year player, blah blah blah. And to be permabanned without a warning. And Blizzard straight up came out and called him out on Twitter and said, no, you've been given fair warning multiple times through this account, and this ban will stick. Tally said it, and some other people said it. Blizzard was very unprofessional by doing that on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Even if they were to do it in an email and send Reckful an email about it, Reckful would probably put that email out on Reddit, Twitter, whatever. So it's still going to get out anyways. So who cares if Blizzard put it out on their Twitter page or in an email? It was going to get out to the public anyways. Maybe you should think about not breaking the rules.
I think the fact that it was done in a public forum like Twitter or something like that is because they're such big personalities and they don't want the information to get misconstrued. Because if they just ban them and send them an email and they don't show the email for whatever reason, they could say they got banned for any reason, and then you're going to have the whole community up in arms, and people are going to be messaging them. They're going to be contacting Blizzard. Why did you ban this guy? Why did you ban that? It's unfair. Stop doing, But this way, it's all out in the public. Everybody knows. There's no information misconstrued at all. And, it's unfortunate, but I know Reckful, he's very entertaining to watch, but he was actually playing some of his viewers' accounts live on the stream. So it's not just his roommate. It went more than that. So Reckful is 100% justified. I understand that one. And all of us, to some degree, have been guilty. I can't say all of us, but for a lot of the long-term WoW players are guilty of account sharing at some point. Whether it was just having a friend log on because they weren't home to do something or, whatever. It's happened. I used to do it in Molten Core way, way, way back in vanilla.
I've played my wife's account and she's played mine. I mean...
Oh, see, they're based... Well, yours is also based on your IP. Because that's how they catch you, is how spread apart your IP address is. And back when, I think, I was
for them, they're roommates. So their IP wasn't the factor in that.
I don't know what exactly the whole details behind theirs, but I know the fact that, he's playing other people's accounts and live streaming it, that played into a big account towards them. Because we even saw when we were at BlizzCon, they were showing, looking for a raid, that video. They're like, we watch streams, whether you know it or not, we're watching you stream. Mm-hmm. And whether, even before Twitch even was, there, they were still watching you because they have that technology to watch you live play their game.
The thing that's so unfortunate about this is the rule has never been so strictly enforced before. That's the part that's unfortunate about this. It very well may have, but this is the first that we're hearing about it in such a big public way.
Because they banned major, Yeah, because they banned a big personality on Twitch. That's why you're only hearing about it. I mean, if it was some no-name, you wouldn't really hear about it.
If they got a temporary suspension, whatever, and a warning if it happened again, and issued that as a warning to the entire community, I think that would definitely be fair. But honestly, what I think it is it's counteracting all the account sharing that's going on for purchases of things like challenge modes, right? That's the thing. People sell challenge modes, and they sell, a service where they don't trust you to log on to your own account and play. Like, they'll play your account, and they go through all these methods to block their IP addresses and all that to, reroute it to this place and that place. And so it's, I don't know the actual technicalities of it all, but I think that has a lot to do with them enforcing things right now, is making sure a lot of these paid services go away and actually offering things like the game time that's coming up where you could purchase it in game is going to alleviate a lot of the gold trades for, let me buy, it's going to alleviate a lot of that. So.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Blizzard, like you said, has never been too strong on their rules or whatever. But to finally come out and after so long, after warnings and stuff like that, to permaban a Twitch personality and your BlizzCon whatever year arena champion for account sharing, that's sending a message across your player base. Don't do it. No matter, if it was Tally, which Tally doesn't account share because he's a PvEer, not a PvPer. Most of their account sharing happens with PvPers to boost their arena rating and stuff like that. So, I mean, you get rid of one of your biggest PvPers in Reckful due to an account share, people are going to watch that and say, "Oh, okay, well, I'm no longer going to account share, and I've been doing it."
Yeah, and then the other problem too with that is if they retract the statement at this point, then it's going to be a double standard. Oh, you're bending the rules for Reckful because he's a celebrity, so you're not going to bend them for me if
Exactly.
mine, gets bent. So they're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place.
The decision's made. They have to stick.
The decision's made. It's a permaban. They're not going to change it. The best thing Reckful could do is start over and make another account. Now, granted, he's not going to have those titles or those mounts anymore, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, but is that a thing? If your account is banned, can you even sign up again under another account?
You should. It's just that account. You should be. I would believe
It's
you
your
were
name
able
and
to,
your address that you sign up with.
but it's not the same account. It'd be a different email address and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure you can do it, but I'm not 100%.
Because you're not perma banned from you yourself are not perma banned from like Blizzard games. It's just that account's closed. You can't get to that account anymore.
Because I a little off topic, but I know like very, very, very long time ago, I was on a family vacation and our AOL account was hacked, and AOL banned our account and said that no one under our name and address will ever be able to use AOL ever again.
I'll say
It's,
that's
uh,
AOL,
some-
not Blizzard.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. So I
And
don't know
that-
what
and that
Blizzard's
makes more
policy is on
sense.
that.
That makes more sense than a video game to ban the address and whatever because it's a
Yeah.
provider. But I mean, sorry, yes, Reckful's got all these mounts and stuff like that, titles and stuff like that. Maybe you should have thought of that before you started breaking terms or TOS and the EULA. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you don't want to risk your account getting banned and losing everything, don't do the crime. You have nobody to blame but yourself.
Mhm.
What he said. Yeah, so that sums up that fun action from this past week that happened, right? Yeah. It's a fairly recent occurrence. Yeah, something I forgot to mention this episode. Battle Talk for our, regular viewers, you know what this is, but for new people, what we do is we take Twitter questions and live call-ins, and you can ask us whatever the heck you want. So on to a Twitter question, because we haven't had any callers tonight. You can Skype us at BlizzardBT. What are your Warcraft predictions for 2015? This is from Jakeinator. The game's going to keep going.
I got a good one. Blackrock Foundry releases in February.
I'm going to keep playing it. There's my prediction.
Those aren't predictions. Those are guarantees.
No, they're not. It's Blizzard. It didn't get delayed.
Predictions.
My prediction is by the end of this tier, I will have beaten Mike on the DPS charts for the Butcher.
Yeah, because
because-
Mistweaver Windwalkers are going to get friggin' nerfed
Again.
again.
Mhm.
We've been nerfed 3 times now. Do I smell a 4th?
My prediction, Silent Chaos will clear a Mythic raid
When?
before
This
the end of the year.
Oh, we got a year to clear it? Alright, I think we can go for that. I was just looking through. With the holiday season, I haven't been paying attention to hotfixes. And I want to see if they...
They've been off.
There really hasn't been.
All right. Okay, I just want to make sure that they haven't ninja snuck any more nerfs under my nose without me
Yes,
paying
they
attention.
totally got rid of Windwalkers. They're gone.
They just deleted them.
Well, shit. What am I going to do now?
They turned you into a freaking tank.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I used to be a good tank. Ask my wife.
Well, you're not replacing Geek, so I have to sit you.
It's true.
Anyway. Yeah, that's, I think, our only real World of Warcraft related Twitter question. I'm looking through real quick, and that's all we got, unfortunately.
What about the card, the picture that Blizzard tweeted out, all the Blizzard CMs?
Oh, I don't even have a picture of that queued up.
That
I'm so
creeped me
sorry.
out. Do not show it.
Oh. Good. Dom, pull it up. You got it.
I sent you a picture in your Skype chat, which you'll have to turn around to do.
You realize that's going to screw up everything, right?
That's fine. It's okay. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. It's worth it.
Professionalism be damned. Oh, no.
It's worth it. It's not that bad.
Oh, this picture.
No, other way.
Excuse me while the chat goes away.
Oh.
Hold
Stop
on.
it! It's creeping me out.
I have a thing. There we go. Nope, I gotta rearrange this. I don't have a window set for this. Let's try Twitter. There we go. This is the WoW CM team, except they're face swapped with Lore, who's right there.
I'm really creeped out by this picture. Can we stop showing it?
You gotta scroll down a little bit.
I can't scroll down because of the way this window's set up. I can make it smaller.
There you go.
Oh,
Because now you can see Nethera's face on, or
My
Lore on Nethera's body.
that picture.
I'm still really creeped
So
out.
apparently Bashiok tweeted this out, and it's super creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even see like Zarheim, like the glasses and everything, you know. And
That was just a well done job. See, it actually, is this Bashiok right here?
No.
No, I
no,
can't.
that's Bashiok,
Right.
top left.
This is this one actually fits, almost.
They all fit.
This,
They all fit.
a lot of them fit. Some of them are obvious, but oh my god.
The
We're gonna
the
stop
angle
showing
on
this.
the angle on Nethera's face is a little off, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, some of these like could legitimately be a real person.
I'm still creeped out. Stop
I'm
showing it.
still creeped out. It's horrible. I love it.
So Merry Christmas to all the Blizzard CMs.
I'm so creeped out.
In a happy new year. I'll cover the rest of these Twitter questions at the end because they are general. Okay, I just want to make sure I read this one right. Moving on, Hearthstone. Fun
Woohoo!
game. I don't know if you've ever played it. A lot
I've
of
never
people
played it.
have.
Nope.
Just
What is it?
it is
I
a
hear it's their MOBA.
oh, that's nice.
Oh.
It is a what is it? A collectible card game? Is that the technical term?
No.
CCG. I don't know these things. I'm an idiot.
Yes, it's a collectible card game.
That's what I thought. But
I wish it was a TCG.
trading card game would be nice.
No,
But
Yes.
no, it would be terrible.
collectible card game
You're terrible.
where you build a deck of 30 cards and do battle. Class-based system, blah, blah, blah. A lot of fun. If you haven't heard of Hearthstone, you've been living under a rock. If you're a Blizzard fan and you haven't heard of Hearthstone, you've been living under a rock. I had to correct that statement because my mom doesn't know what Hearthstone is. Anyway, it's been a big year.
Why did
for
your
Hearthstone.
mom come into this conversation?
Yeah, I'm. Is she watching? Hi, Mom.
She's not watching. She has no idea I do this. I don't think she has an idea of what Twitch TV is, what a live. I think she has the idea of what a live stream is, right?
Where's my phone? I'm gonna call her.
Do you even know my mom's phone number? Why do you know my mom's phone number?
I don't, but I know where you work.
All right, she's not there.
Not now.
Oh.
Moving on, big year for Hearthstone, as mentioned.
Uh,
It released. It had its first major content patch, and its first expansion.
Naxxramas.
Yeah, Curse of Naxxramas and
First
Goblins
adventure.
Goblins vs. Gnomes expansion all in 1 year. So Hearthstone's moving right along pretty quickly.
all with a total developer team of like 20.
Yeah, I mean, for what they started with and where they are now, the game has come quite a long way.
I mean, if you if you think about it, what open beta started January, game didn't officially launch until what, April, and in June iPad version came out,
I forgot to even mention the fact.
and
that it's
then
available.
November the Android version came out. So
The
I mean,
Android version
their
just came
developer
out.
process for this game is super quick. I mean, obviously it's not as extensive as like World of Warcraft per se, because all they're doing is creating cards and making sure they fit right within their parameters. But still, to get over 100 and something cards for an expansion, and then what was it, 100 cards? It went 100 cards for Naxxramas.
No, it was only 30 for Naxxramas.
Yeah,
This was
so I mean,
30
still,
cards.
to get 30 cards for that, and then to come out and pump out over 120 for Goblins Goblins
The
versus
difference
Gnomes.
being, yeah, the difference
So, I mean,
being
dang.
with Naxxramas was they designed encounters, so that was the real meat and potatoes of the expansion was doing these encounters and the mechanics and having you really think outside the box to get them done, and especially for um, the heroic versions of those. So it was having some PVE content. I think they learned quite a lot, and I think it's something that they're going to utilize again. It's just they said that when their next adventure comes out, they don't want it to be the exact same thing as what Naxxramas was, just reskinned with new encounters and new cards. They want something completely different out of it. So I can't wait to see.
Predictions.
I'm
Go.
still predicting Old War. Still predicting Old War, but I can't wait to see.
I would love to see Ulduar, but a lot of the things they could have done with Ulduar, like a lot of those cards came out for Goblins versus Gnomes.
I still
Yes and
think
no.
Ice Crown.
I think
I'm
I think if you look at it, out of the cards that came out of Goblins versus Gnomes, like Flame Leviathan was a legendary, and Voltron.
Yeah.
You can kind of roll it into
The
them.
the Flame Leviathan is the first boss in there, and typically the way they had done the wings for Curse of Naxxramas is the legendary cards you would get out of there is the last boss of the particular wing. So Flame Leviathan wouldn't have been an option for a legendary card anyway. Voltron possibly would have been, but I still think we could see one in the form of Mimron instead, so I think that we're okay with that.
I mean, as much as I agree, just my camera. Because
I just think it fits the best with Goblins versus Gnomes. It's like
it does
yeah,
make
a lot
sense
of people
as far as
would love to see like Karazhan or even Omikins in chat is saying Encourage, but it just doesn't fit with the whole Goblins versus Gnomes theme.
yeah. As far as like a transition, I guess you would say, this would be like this expansion is kind of a transition between adventures. It would make total sense to roll into like an older war sense with the cards you had mentioned. How exactly they would roll as far as the encounters and stuff goes like that, I don't know. Like you said, they wanted to make it something different. I still think ICC would probably be the next adventure though,
See,
just because it's bigger.
if I think they're gonna save ICC
Popularity.
for when Death Knights are finally released.
The
I
next
see
expansion? The next Death
ICC being the Death Knight. I could see that. I could totally see it. But see, I think it would have been better if they were gonna do Ulduar to release it with the expansion and just tie 30 cards to that. Because if they release more mechs and all this stuff later on, it's like, yeah, we already had a whole bunch of those. Right? Don't we want something different? So maybe Ulduar isn't the way to go. Maybe going in a completely different
They
thing,
could
like
go-
do
Well, mechs, you gotta think mechs aren't really the entire Old War raid either. It's like Flame and Memron. Those are the only two mech
yeah.
type bosses. So I mean, you can almost roll because you can make those bosses in the adventure, and the only way to counter those would be to use a mechanical deck.
You could always have a troll-related thing.
Oh my god, shut up right now.
What? It's just the.
I mean, we haven't had a whole lot of troll cards.
Zul'Gurub,
that,
Zulamon, Zul.
Do something like
Yes,
that.
and then we'll get another, and then we'll just keep,
or even do Dead Mines and give us some pirates.
Yeah, they have so many things to draw from. I mean, we
well,
could talk about
adventures,
this for
yes.
the next 3 hours and not get it right.
probably.
Yeah, and Moose in chat, just think about this is back to what we were saying. It's been an amazing year. Hearthstone's not even been out for a full year, and it already has 24 million players.
This is free to play. It's easy to get
But
into.
if you look at how long it was in beta and everything, it's been in beta since last June. So it's technically been around for longer than a year. I had first day beta with it. It was. So I've been playing for a very, very long time.
Do you remember the first day we were getting together to do a 48-hour streamathon, and all of our plans got just completely destroyed because it's like, hey guys, guess what? Hearthstone beta is launching right now.
Pretty much.
I hate you all because I didn't get mine until like June, and somebody had to give me their key to get in. And the day after I got their key, I got my email to get in. And that was like September, October. I hate you all. And then freaking this dude over here gets into the Heroes Alpha in March,
The day it launched.
and I have to wait till the week of my birthday in April to get mine.
Hey,
You know
sorry.
how angry I am? Like, that was my game. Like, all I wanted to do was play Heroes, and I got shafted. I had to wait like a month.
Blame Trixler?
No, I like him. He's cool to me.
I do like him too. He's a nice guy.
I actually
Yeah, it
invited him
took-
to our show. Where were you at, Bill? Why didn't you invite him?
Because I was like,
Nope.
you did it
No
the
excuse.
minute before I got
Nope.
there.
2 excuses. No excuses.
I
Where
got
was I? I don't know.
Heroes of the Storm like 2 weeks in. I think it was. It was the second wave. So
It was fun. And speaking of that, here's the storm. Unless you guys want to mention anything else about Hearthstone.
I can't
No.
wait to see what the future holds. I
just-
don't want to reiterate.
I'm curious. I'm curious what our next card back is going to be, because I mean we had the Goblins versus Gnomes thing going on,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
right? So they totally missed out on giving us a nice Winter Veil card. So
It'll
are
be
they
like a
gonna
festive party New Year's card deck.
So
are they just gonna skip Winter Veil and pretend like it didn't exist? Or are they gonna give it to us a month late? Or are they
They-
gonna save it for next
They
year?
didn't skip Winter's
like
Veil. They didn't skip Winter's Veil.
they
It's in
could-
Heroes.
Well, for Hearthstone, he's talking about. Anyway,
Yeah.
as if this helps much, by the time you watch this episode, you have just over a day from me speaking these words right now to get this card back. Reach rank 20. Congratulations, the gnome card back is yours. If you happen to watch our show on Thursday, you're shit out of luck. I'm sorry.
Sucks to be you.
Yep.
Yep.
So that concludes our Hearthstone section of the show. Moving on. Heroes of the Storm went into technical alpha this year. He's weirding me out today. What Heroes of the Storm is, if you're familiar with a MOBA, a multiplayer online battle arena, don't know who coined that term.
The guys who made the original Dota from Warcraft 3.
Basically. If you're familiar with that type of game, League of Legends, Smite, Dota, any of that, this is Blizzard's related version. And this guy is very excited about it. So tell us, what do you love about Heroes?
What's not to love about Heroes?
It doesn't help me.
That explains a lot. Everything's amazing about it. Did you know they're like on their 200th iteration of the UI?
I know.
And we've only seen like 4. But now, on a serious note, Hero, if you're a new MOBA player and you're trying to find a MOBA to get into, but you feel daunted by League of Legends, their cash, or I wouldn't say their cash, but I mean their in-store and their builds, their talent builds, their rune system, stuff like that. Or if you want to try and get into Dota, but you don't understand all that because they give you all your characters, stuff like that. Heroes kind of just makes it a little bit more easier by getting rid of the cash out, getting rid of the boots for movement speed, and all that, and then just make it more accessible. It's easier. All you have is certain talents that give you new abilities or increase your stats in some way, just like in World of Warcraft does. Instead of boots to increase your movement speed, you have a mount that you just get on it's got like a 2-second cooldown if you get knocked off of it and stuff like that. I mean, it's a lot more noob friendly than League of Legends and Dota 2. It's really just that simple. It's easy to play, hard to master.
Yeah, I guess that's a really good way to put it. Because, I mean, League, you start playing a hero. Okay. You need to know what items to buy for him, what's the optimal way to level up their abilities, and what 100 plus other heroes or champions do in that game, so you don't die horribly. Now, that's
It'd
factor.
be like me
Know
and
who
do
dies
all
horribly.
and face check everything.
He dies horribly. I mean, this in Heroes,
I
it's
did.
just you have all your abilities. You're not going to worry about leveling up. You got talents. Most of them are useful. Yeah, there are certain builds, certain ones that are useless on certain heroes, or certain builds that you shouldn't take because things don't synergize well. But it's still very simple and, like Cody said, very noob friendly.
I mean, if you think about it, it keeps the Trinity alive that you see in World of Warcraft. You got your damage dealers, you got your support, your assassin, your warriors, which is your tanks, your assassins, which are your daily damage dealers. But then like Blizzard takes it one step further and kind of puts their own twist on it and gives you the specialist class, which is kind of like a PvE character
Some are.
in a PvP arena. I mean, you got Gazlo.
Just look at Abathur.
He's a specialist, but well, he's a support. Yeah, he's just. What is he?
See, I
He's
remember
really
originally-
He's
outside the
weird
box.
because he's really like a support specialist, but he's not really a PvE specialist because he's more of a support because literally you can go anywhere on the map with him,
See, this was...
and you help other people. So I mean,
this is from... They didn't want to overcomplicate things. If you look in the earlier builds pre-Tech Alpha launching, the fourth type was Siege. And if you look at certain, Gazlo has some pretty good sieging ability. So does, Zagara wasn't released, but Zagara could siege the shit out of a base. So can the Zebo.
Sergeant Hammer.
Right, Sergeant Hammer. But then when they added Abathur, they didn't want to make an entire, fifth class. So they just took away Siege, made it Specialist, and the way they describe Specialist is hero that doesn't fit into other three categories.
Yeah, and it's essentially what it is. I mean, they're a PvE, and some of them aren't, but most of them are. They're a PvP or PvE specialized class because on the map you've got night camps and mercenary camps that you go
Jungle
in.
camps to those.
Yeah, essentially just jungle camps that you take control of, and when you take control of it, those mercs will fight for you and push a lane with you. Well, Gazlo, Sergeant Hammer, Zagara, they all have abilities that do massive damage to those certain camps. So they're very effective at capturing those camps fairly quickly at a fairly low level. So, that's why, you see some team builds rolling with one specialist so they can have that person go get the camps. If you really want to think about it, the specialist is a jungler from League of Legends. If you really want to think of it that way, it's a jungler.
But you don't, but not
But you
all
don't.
specialists are.
You're not specifically limited to just jungling though. Like you're not specifically going into every map going, okay, well I'm not going to help you in lane and just push the jungle, and just
Right.
capture more camps because you're not going to get anywhere. You still have to go into your lane and get experience for your team. But they make it at least a little bit easier to get the night camps and stuff like that.
And if you get away from that PvP aspect, they each bring a different fun aspect to a team fight. Like, look at Gazlo. He has, what would you call it, battlefield control? Turrets, stun bombs.
Well, his his gravity bomb ult is definitely kind of a game changer. Because, even if you look at Zagara, hers is kind of as well, because they both kind of do the same thing, and yet they're essentially the same thing. And the gravity bomb sucks everybody in and explodes, causing massive damage, whereas Zagara's pretty much just grabs everybody in a certain area and drags them in and holds them there, so you can have either a great escape or, a great way to pick off somebody that's captured. So,
just look at characters like Murky and just the way that they totally redefined the way you play the game. The original incarnation of Murky, and then they had to change them around a little bit, but it's just I love the way that some of these out of the box thinking kind of heroes are coming along and playing the game in a way you typically wouldn't think is viable to play.
Yeah, if you look at Murky back in the day when Murky launched, I was watching Christo, who was streaming some Heroes. I think he was streaming Heroes back then, back when he was streaming before BlizzCon was going on. And he had pretty much said it. Murky was like therapy for players who were getting angry and dying a lot. Because back when I was playing, I was playing Vala and I was face checking everything and dying a lot. Well, I'd get angry because I was being stupid and frustrated. Well, I'd just go play Murky because he's supposed to die. That was his whole purpose, was to go out and die. So you could just do that. And, you could do it without any consequence. Now that they changed it, there's a consequence to him dying so many times, which I think is stupid.
The idea of Murky was great, but they did have to balance him out because initially he could go in and die
broken.
how many times, and now he dies, he counts for, what, 1/4 of a hero kill?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It's definitely a lot more reasonable now.
It is reasonable.
It was broken before. It really was. It was a lot of fun, and most of the things that are broken in the games, any game really, anything that's broken is going to be a lot of fun.
right, because he
So
could charge
I did
towers.
enjoy the hell out of Murky. I really,
The perfect-
really
well-
lost interest in the character after all the changes, but it was a lot of fun while it lasted. And
The one change I do like that they did make, and it makes a whole lot of sense, was if you find his egg and you break it, now he's visible on the map for 20 seconds or so much. Or I can't remember. I think it's 20 seconds.
I think.
Right.
That makes sense because, like, back when he first came out, even if you found his egg, you still didn't know where he was.
You would have to
And
know
just-
where he was to kill him.
Exactly. So, but the perfect counter to Murky, and I guess the bad thing about Murky was you always had to have one person go after him, and usually that person would be a stealth player like Nova or Zeratul. And you would always have that one person down in a team fight. Now, granted, they were also down in a team fight because they didn't have Murky, but Murky didn't really bring much to a team fight anyways back when he first came out.
No, but he did
Nothing like Zeratul or a Nova would in a team fight.
No, and you would have asked the question, well, why not ignore the Murky and just obliterate the other 4 people with
Because Murky
advantage?
would push quick.
Yeah, Murky would devastate a lane if you ignored him for
If you ignored
even 2
him,
minutes.
he would have the game won in less than 5.
Oh, I would take towers out, like everything. I'd take out towers, turrets, walls, everything that you could possibly think of, and I would be working on taking out the main base before they even realized what had happened. It was insane.
And at
That's
the
why I
time-
said it definitely was broken, 100%, because you could outrange even the main tower.
And then there's the other way to play Murky, the Assassin build, which at the
Which is
time
the
was
preferred build
useless.
now.
It's the preferred build now, but at the time it was considered
It
useless
was not
because the other build
useless.
was... No, it wasn't
was
useless,
useless.
but the other build was so much better. It's why would you ever
It was.
do not that build?
I did it a few times, 'cause I remember having this conversation with both you and formerly Sophist, who was on our podcast previously. And I was the one that said that, this Murky assassin build, and I didn't call it an assassin build because it wasn't really a thing back then. It was just like heavily done around self-preservation and poison. And the poison would take almost half the player's health off from just like the hit or whatever. And I go, this is much more viable for like a team-based style thing. Yeah, the other Murky works, more if you're going solo or whatever. But I go, this one, they see Murky, they don't expect it. So it's just that element of surprise that gets you. And then it was much more effective on like a capture the flag mechanic, where you got to go collect like the spirits or whatever, and Cursed Hollow, and you'd be like, you go there, and then all of a sudden Murky comes flying out of a bush, and you're like, ha ha ha, and then he stabs you with poison, and then like floats away in his little bubble, and you're dead, and you're like, what the hell just happened?
Now, see, I used that build, and I brought that up on another podcast I was on, and I was called an idiot because that wasn't the acceptable, the socially acceptable
Right.
Murky build. But, they would send...
And then not only that,
But here's the thing.
not only
they would
that, you had the Murloc Apocalypse,
Right.
whatever that, the Murloc Rush, and then you would be able to use that while your team had been wiped out to secure the thing so no one can capture, the objective, and you're able to hold it as Murky just long enough for your team to come rezzing back and running. It works so well.
But yeah, oh look, here comes a Nova or a Vala out of a bush. Ah, this is a Murky, it's an easy kill. Oh look, he threw a pufferfish. He'll be dead and I'll get out of it before it explodes. Oh look, he slimed me. Wait, now he's holding me with the octopus and I'm poisoned from his ability. He's beating me to death with a fish. The pufferfish explodes, I'm dead.
Yep.
I've done that at least 100 times to people. I loved every minute of it. But
Murky he was just a class. He's not a support or anything. Like, you know, what is he? What is he officially?
He's a
specialist because he's not.
He's a specialist.
He was a siege.
Yeah, it's just I love the out of the box thinking that they do with some of these characters. It's great. That's what separates this from League and Dota.
Yep. And now to bring up a couple of new heroes that have either just been released, such as Jaina, or that are coming in the coming weeks. And you said you like out of the box thinking, Dom. Well, there's one hero they're releasing soon.
TLV!
The Lost Vikings. That's very out of the box. I played them at BlizzCon.
Only,
they are going.
Unfortunately, I did not get the chance to try them at BlizzCon. I was actually very disappointed about that.
If you are the god of map awareness, which I am not by any stretch of the imagination, then this is your hero. You are controlling the three Lost Vikings, and they are separately controlled. You control them by pressing 1, 2, or 3, or 4 to select all 3 of them and control them as a blob. They have no abilities at the start. You give them abilities through talents, and when one dies, it counts as a hero death. And there are 3 of them.
I think that'll probably change, just because if you think about it, it's the way Murky works. He's a quarter of a hero kill.
See, when the 3 of them are together, they're pretty.
Should count as 1/3.
I don't know how. I only got to play them once.
I think they should all count as 1/3. I think that may change. We haven't seen him in game yet, so we don't know 100% yet.
See, I don't know what the experience value was, but every time one of them died, my death counter went up, which Murky only does if the egg and Murky die together. But one thing I can tell you, at level 1, they seem, if I was to give them a power rating, they seem to be about 25% stronger than any other hero when the 3 of them are together. You could probably 3v1 technically any other hero in the game. They will likely kill one of your Vikings unless you're really good at micromanaging. But alone, they're pretty crappy. All of them are pretty shitty. But as you get on and get these abilities, they become really good. Especially, on a spread out map like the new one that was available at BlizzCon Sky Temple, where you have multiple objectives far across the map, and now you have 3 Vikings. You can control all 3 of them. I'm rambling here because I mind blown playing them.
There's just a lot to Lost Vikings. The best way to compare them to is Meepo from Dota 2.
Yep.
It's just a lot of micromanaging. He's a micromanaged hero. You can either control them all or control each one individually. Like we were doing when we were playing Sky Temple, when we were at BlizzCon, I was playing Thrall, which is a new character coming out as well.
A lot of fun. Getting nerfed.
Better not. He's really good. He's interesting just for the fact, I'll roll into my conversation after this. Thrall is pretty much a melee character, but he's got Chain Lightning, which essentially makes him a ranged at the same time. So, if you're beating on somebody for a while and they try and get away, you can't catch them, usually Chain Lightning will finish them off. Now, when you and I were playing at BlizzCon, you were playing Lost Vikings, I was playing Thrall, and you had split up, and you were literally taking one tower up north, you were taking the middle one, and I was taking the bottom one, and all 3 of us all 3 of you were at each of the towers, and I was down at the bottom helping you capture the bottom one. So, in that sense, Lost Vikings has a lot of potential to do a lot of damage, especially trying to get merc camps and stuff like that if the other team isn't paying attention.
They're not that. You would need more than one to take a merc camp. They're not that good.
Later in game, probably not.
Maybe. I think they can get bribe. I'm not sure. Don't quite remember that. Yeah, they have a lot of potential for map control and objective control, but they also have a lot of potential for failure. Because you have to be super aware of all 3 Vikings at once, and if there are 3 different points in the map, that's just going to completely split your attention.
Yeah.
And if you're...
some people are really good at multitasking or multi-boxing or, whatever, so that is a perfect class for that, Yeah.
I am not good at that, so I will not be playing the Lost Vikings very often.
I'll be playing them for a little bit just to try them out.
Exactly.
I didn't have the pleasure of trying them out at BlizzCon. I was too busy doing doing things like waiting in line for Metallica.
We did get a good spot for Metallica.
I did get a good spot for Metallica. Maybe if you had an autofocus, it'd focus in on your guitar picks.
One's a bass
You
pick.
can read them. Yes, one is a bass pick, one is a guitar pick. And I was this close to getting a drumstick.
Yeah.
Well, good job for not trying hard enough.
I almost got the trifecta. Almost.
He almost got the trifecta. One interesting thing to mention are, well, we've already mentioned them last week. Stim packs coming to Heroes
They're
of
already
the
in
Storm. They're already in game. They're just
Yeah.
boosts.
They're
like
very
League of
nice.
Legends. They're very
Yeah.
nice. Enjoy them. Have fun. Stuff like that. Closed beta for that starts on January 13th, so in two weeks.
If you haven't signed up,
Go sign up on...
I don't know why you haven't.
If you haven't, you're missing out, because it is a very accessible MOBA. And, hell, you
Chin is
get good at
amazing.
Heroes, maybe that will be your jump to get you into League of Legends if you've always wanted to play that, but are too daunted by it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bother. Heroes
Let's
is way better.
let's see. Get into Heroes, who has a community that is somewhat non-toxic, or go to League of Legends that has the most toxicity that the world has ever seen.
You know, Heroes community some of the community can be pretty toxic at times, but on the whole, it
The
isn't.
toxicity of our city.
I'm moving on to Twitter questions while he quotes something down there.
Well, how about we do this? Grades.
I was going to wait, but alright, fine.
No, there is no waiting. We don't wait. We do. In a chaotic manner.
So it was brought up to us that this was Total's idea, right?
This is my idea.
Oh, this was your idea. Sorry.
So this is
Total, I
what
was
it
giving
is.
you
I've
credit
got
for
all the
something that was
ideas.
not yours. I apologize. Anyway, the idea was
Fire
we
total deletion.
all
That is my idea. That already happened, though.
rate. We play all of the Blizzard games, and we should rate. These are our personal ratings, not what the game's actual rating is. So we're
God.
going to start with Cody. The 5 Blizzard
Yeah, this
games.
is his idea.
We're not going to include Overwatch right now. Cause
What? We've all played it.
Fine, we'll include Overwatch. God. Rate the 6 Blizzard games. Your personal ratings. I don't know. How do you want to do this? Scale of 1 to 10?
Warcraft. No. A, B, C, D, pluses and minuses, whatever. Warcraft. World of Warcraft, how would you grade them this year?
Did you just say we were going A, B, C, D, and then you start at W?
Sure.
All right, I see what you're doing. So, World of Warcraft, what would you give it? Cody? Someone who can answer quickly, Dom?
An A minus. It's only not an A plus because the first 9 months of this year was meh. But they redeemed themselves for Warlords, and I'm having a ton of fun.
Yeah, I give them an A. B plus.
I'm going to go with an A as...
You guys are the worst teachers
B
ever.
plus. You know what? I go B plus just because the first 9 months of this year were fucking garbage, and the whole DDoS fiasco is also garbage. Not saying it's their fault. It's not. It's not their fault at all. But their fiasco with it, obviously hurts them in the long run.
I'm going to average the
B
grades.
plus.
I'm going to average the grades out that I give it, and it's going to be a B for me when I average that out. It's an A plus for my enjoyment level of the game, but it's like a C or worse with the sucking my life away having to check garrison missions every 4 hours.
No, that would be
don't
an A
have
plus
to.
for me.
I don't have to, but I feel I'm missing something if I don't. It's terrible. No,
So-
overall the game is...
Or
really
how about me?
Warcraft-
How about
Warcraft
me
is
this
B plus.
week, right? This week we didn't have our guild raid, so I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go in the looking for group, thing and do a normal high mall and get." So I use my bonus roll on the butcher, and I get the trinket, and I'm super super happy about this. And then the day following, I get the high mall cash from my garrison followers and get the trinket again.
gotten 2 of those high mall caches. One was the exact same gloves I was wearing, but worse because not Warforged. And the second, which I got today, was the shittier pair of boots from this tier. I already have the better pair of boots. So I'm just getting gear duplicates. I'm not getting any upgrades from these pieces of crap. I swear it's rigged and they're doing it on purpose.
Probably.
Moving on, StarCraft 2.
F plus.
That's a thing.
The,
You
there's
failed,
no-
but you did it with style.
Yeah, they did. They because there's nothing going on the entire year until BlizzCon. Like, here's Legacy of the Void. F plus.
All right, so you know what? Okay, we're grading this year. As far as me personally, StarCraft, I give it B for when I do play it. I enjoy it, but for this year, yeah.
I own the other two collector's editions of StarCraft. I've still never even played Wings of Liberty or Heroes of the Swarm. Or Heart of the Storm. Which one is it? Heroes of the Swarm or Heart of the Storm? Which one? I don't know. But yeah, no, I haven't played either of them yet. So giving any kind of rating to it wouldn't really be fair. It wouldn't. So I'm gonna just go with a C, just flat out even, because I do have interest in it. I just haven't had the time to do it ever. So.
All right then. Diablo 3.
A plus.
Dom.
B plus. It started off really bad, really bad, and then they've redeemed themselves, and the expansion helped quite a bit. But it wasn't enough to salvage it for me to keep me on a consistent basis of playing it. But I don't dislike the game either. I need my time in other places. So
Yeah, I mean, I say A plus, but I guess I really mean like an A because obviously before Reapers came out, it was in a very dire state of playing, and then when Reapers came out, it definitely saved it.
Yeah.
As far as replay value, it's just not my type of game to continuously play over and over and over again. It gets kind of stale. So I mean, A in a sense, not A plus, but A because they definitely turned that game around from what it was.
I got to agree with him there. All right, what's the next one? Hearthstone, A plus. We've talked about it in length on this episode.
you gave it an A plus?
Hearthstone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it an A plus.
F minus.
Whoa. I'm gonna give it a solid A.
A solid A.
I'm just going on my opinion.
I think Goblins vs. Gnome was tremendous. Like it changed the game completely. It's a lot more fun, even for pickup players. But there's a few issues, minor issues. Granted, one is just my issue. It has nothing to do with the game itself. I've just since Goblins vs. Gnomes cards have released, I've been doing really, really, really bad in Arena. But that's just me being bad and not drawing the proper cards because I don't understand the way to make them all work yet, and how to balance out the meta.
That's your own
So
fault.
there's that, and I feel like the catch-up mechanic for anybody who's a newer player is having a hard time right now trying to balance out whether or not they should get classic packs or current packs. I think that's the real issue right now with the game, and I don't see any way to solve that. That's the
There's
other
not, because I mean, even if you look at real life card games
like
or
Magic the
trading card
Gathering
games,
or
it's
anything like
the
that.
same thing. So I mean, it's nothing you can really fix. It's just something you have to
Right.
kind of roll into.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yep.
Um,
I feel there's still some improvements they can make for like ways to obtain gold and stuff like that would fix some of those issues. So
Heroes of the Storm.
I should stay out of this because I'm gonna be really biased. I'm gonna say A plus.
I'm gonna say A minus because the game is ridiculously fun. It's easy to get into, but they have had some ups and downs with balancing that whole artifact system, which lasted a full less than
The
a week.
artifact system was amazing.
I
Screw you,
enjoyed
buddy.
it, but it broke the game.
So yes, essentially, I give it an A plus, but
A Diablo that could never be killed.
it's Heroes is a rare gem because even with it being in technical alpha, it is still very, very, very polished for a technical
it is a polished
alpha.
game.
Right.
Now,
I'll give it that much.
to say, that artifacts would bring down their grade for me, it's not. They're just out there
No.
play testing.
I'm just going with all of the, that's just something I brought up. That's not the reason
Yeah.
it's bringing.
Well,
down
I mean,
the
even
grade.
if you talk about balancing, the game's gonna be in a constant state of balancing. So I mean, I'm not even gonna hold that against their grade. I still think this game is fairly solid for what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. They're doing everything right.
I didn't
You
give
know,
it a C
even-
minus. I give it an A minus.
I mean, so I mean,
Like I'm
there's just
for me
nothing
personally,
bad
I
about
haven't
it right
played. I haven't really played since the wipe, right? So it's been a while for me. So I'm not gonna lie, I can't give it a fair assessment at that point. I was really liking it. Actually, just before the UI changes, like those big UI changes where they increase the size of the buttons and the placements of the different. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I think that was part of the reason why I played a little bit less. But so I'd have to give this. I would say a B plus, A minus, somewhere around there. Except for the fact that they made me. They literally grabbed my arm, twisted it, and bent me over the desk, and made me buy the reindeer. So I'm gonna have to give it. I'm gonna have to give it a solid B plus because of that.
They made him.
They did. They literally
stream.
made me.
And now for the
Yeah.
I'm asking this question, and I know everybody's answer. Overwatch.
B minus.
Explanation?
I haven't seen enough of it to justify anything higher. From what I have played out of that game, it is fairly. It's just like Heroes.
Polished.
It's very polished in the sense of it's a working, playable. When we played at BlizzCon, it was working and playable. You know, all the heroes
Alright.
felt well. Obviously, they were not balanced right. You know, it was a very, very small alpha from what we played. But there just wasn't enough. There's only one game mode and one map that we played. So I mean, to say
I played 3
There
different
were
maps.
3 maps.
Three
that
maps? I played
were
one.
Available, yeah.
so, there just wasn't enough there for me to justify a higher grade. It's there. You know, if they keep doing what they're doing, it will be a solid A plus game. It's just I need to see more.
All right. I was gonna give it an A, but that
I'm,
works.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it an A plus on hype, and I'll give it like a B plus for actual playing it because, like Cody said, we haven't had a lot of time. We based it around a 15-minute demo or whatever that we played, whatever the case was. I played it I played 4 different times. So, I had a lot of fun, but I feel like a lot of that is just hype right now. Let's see how it lasts after it's been in our hands and we've played it for a couple months straight and see how boring or fun it actually
All
is.
right, I'll give you guys that.
So,
Moving on to some Twitter questions that we have that I've been accumulating. This one isn't even a question. This is from WoW Playing Twice. Geech, 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 Zista, Geech, Geech.
Geech.
I agree, Geech. Geech is our main tank for our raid, if anybody's curious. And his name is Verb.
this.
Before we get to something that's going to actually be discussed, this, according to Rachel, is the best picture of Cody ever at medieval times.
Oh, why so
Look at
serious?
his face.
I know, right?
Can we zoom in on that?
No, we can't zoom in on that.
No, you can't. I'm sorry, that made it smaller.
Look at that face.
Do that again and then right click and view image.
That's the most it'll let me zoom in.
That is so.
It's
Look at
quite
that sex
though.
beast.
He's just not happy.
Did you guys plan
None of the
this?
guys are in the back row. We're all pissed.
Why?
All the girls are smiling. Look, we have Biera, who is the guildmaster of Gamebreaker Nation. We have Rachel, aka Savannah, who is 2 to the right or her left of the bar
I'm
wench.
picking her nose with a cursor. Jeez.
Oh my god! Ah!
We have her daughter, right under that, and then
We're gonna let you
we have
guess which one
Sarai
that is.
on the far right, and then all the guys in the back. Just look, they are all super happy. that
Why
they're-
though? Was
every
this
last one of them.
planned? Cody, you were there. Was this planned?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is the medieval times thing that like everybody wanted to go to on Sunday.
I know it was. I'm just. This picture is too much.
It's amazing.
All right.
And the Red Knight did not win, and we trolled Halinka because Halinka was also at that same
Of course you did.
lunch. So we were trolling him on Twitter while he was rooting for the Black and White Knight. We were rooting for the Horde Knight, and both of our knights lost.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And moving on to this one. This is from.
And
this
as
is,
Dev says in chat, that is the princess, not the bar wench.
you know, my chat froze how long ago? That would explain things. This is from Zista. What is your favorite
Ciao.
Blizzard-related memory from this year? I will read out your answers live on the show tonight. So, Dom, do you want me to scroll through, or do you want to just read them?
We have Jakeinator saying that being able to call in on a live show with some crazy ass hosts was his favorite moment. But he also said that finally meeting not one but two awesome guildies in real life that he wouldn't have met if Blizzard didn't have such awesome games. So
That's an awesome moment for me for the last, 6 years.
You know what
yeah,
my
it's definitely
best Blizzard moment was?
Go on.
Was at the Wowhead party. We met a fan of the show.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, that was a really...
Yeah.
That was a surreal moment for me.
We have fans.
I've only been doing, podcasts for, 18 months now? Has it been that long? Maybe not.
Not for me.
it's been about that long for you.
Yeah, it's
Maybe a
been
little bit longer. I don't know.
But I met, my first fan in person and got to shake his hand, and that was just weird.
This is weird.
I mean,
For me,
It was
I mean,
awesome.
it was also the exact same moment, but it was just being recognized because he approached me first, and it's like the first time outside of people that I knew that I was recognized from online.
yeah,
It's-
you know what? That's the weird part. It's a total stranger who, recognized you.
Yeah, and I mean you got to look at it from their point of view. For them, they're not a stranger to you. They watch you all the time, so they're familiar and and to a degree, and I know this happens a lot with movie stars and stuff and television actors is they're part of your lives so much that you kind of forget the fact that it's a one-way kind of relationship, I guess, in that term where you know so much about them and they know absolutely nothing about you, that when you as that person is approached, it is a little awkward, but it's fun. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right. You still got more here to read off.
yeah, Total says that his best moment of 2014 was staring at can heels for 3 hours in the BlizzCon merch line with Huffity Puffity with B. So hashtag precious memories. Cody.
Creeps the frick out.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
one is a very memorable moment right here.
Getting pied in the face by me. BlizzCon.
That was the
That was
most
one of my favorite
epic
BlizzCon
thing.
memories as well.
What did you say to the waitress? I will pay you $20 to give me a plate full of whipped cream.
I didn't pay her. I tipped her.
Oh yeah, that was it.
$20.
Yeah, that was totally worth a $20 tip.
I just loved the manager's reaction when he walked over and he just goes, "Hi, are you guys serious?"
Mm-hmm.
No
Yeah.
medal.
You damn straight we're serious. I can't believe they let us do that. Totally going back there.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Wraithface said, watching the Blizzard-induced insanity that happens to be a discussion with the Zach Schultz, a.k.a. Kiggles.
Yeah.
And David Dresden said, getting Zis to explain MarshaCon 2015 on the air. And Heroes Alpha.
My God, getting you to explain MarshaCon.
Marsha. So.
God. So my highlight of the year is getting together every week with you crazy bastards and doing this.
Kiss ass.
Yeah,
No, I'm not kissing ass. It's actually one of the high points of my week.
it's definitely a lot of fun. I mean, we even the guest stars and stuff we have on here. Like we had Cage of Hell Yeah, and then we got to meet him at BlizzCon, and in person a couple weeks after having him on the show, and that was incredible. And then um, getting to hang out with Ro and everything at the World of Podcast party, which I didn't get to go to the World of Podcast party, World of Podcast party, but I got to see Ro quite a bit during all of BlizzCon, and that was a lot of fun. It's just getting to meet a lot of the podcasting folks in the community.
I'm going through
Silver Latomi who performed at the Wowhead party.
Got her card.
Yeah,
got to hang out with her for a couple
my wallet.
days, which was hilarious. Let's see, what else do I got here? I have so many business cards mixed up. Hell, I have a lawyer.
I don't have my wallet on
Why the
me.
hell is that there?
You guys don't have one business card that I have.
which one is that?
Dave Kosek,
Oh, you lucky bastard! I got to meet a
game
friend.
designer for World of Warcraft.
I got to meet my friend Forecourt Jester, who I've played Heroes with for a bit. He does the Heroes Fire talent calculator, programs that, among other things.
Did you get one from our very own friend Little Missy?
I did not
No.
get a Missy
Yeah.
business card.
Oh, what now? What now? Little Missy's is right in my wallet. It's on me at all times. You can follow her on Game Skinny, where she does some writing for at gameskinny.com/gs/Little Missy 4205 LIL Little Missy.
I'm shoving this back into my wallet, or trying to. Anyway,
I have these ones with like these three letters on it that I don't want
Fucking
to. That I just kind of threw away.
please get back in there.
I know I have a Silver Latomi one. I just don't know where it is.
I have two of them.
Probably in this.
So.
Probably in this side.
I got the one, and then I got the one where she wrote her phone number on it.
Who?
Mm-hmm.
Silver.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're married. Why the hell would you
I've
want to get a
gotten.
phone number of
I
a
made
girl?
that joke too, and Omi laughed her ass off. But I've gotten more phone numbers from girls since I've been married than I ever had when I was single.
That's usually how it works.
Pretty crazy stuff. Where the heck is the button I'm looking for? Looking for a button. Looking for a button. That's our show. Found the button.
I found my business card from work.
I don't have a business card from work. I'm not cool
Look,
enough.
I'm a used car dealer.
So sell
I'm
me
not,
a
but
Ford
technically
Fusion.
I can. I'm gonna sell
Yeah.
you a Ford Fusion.
Um,
Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, just BlizzCon was a lot of fun. And then I got I get to meet a lot of the WoW personalities and like Blizzard CMs. I had them sign my Cards Against Humanity cards.
I got to meet.
So I got Critho. He wrote a bearded pug. And then he signed it. I had Josh Allen dying in the first 10 seconds of every poll, and then he signed it lore.
Well, of course he would know that.
I had Taryn Gregory
Luckily you haven't
from
done that
WoW
in our
Cinematics doing butt goggles, and he drew a picture of them, boggles.
Why not?
And my favorite, a baby wielding a tiny hammer made of tiny babies wielding their hammers.
Signed by.
Jesse Cox.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Jesse Cox. So
I was.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was one of the highlights of my year at BlizzCon. Hopefully I get to go again next year, but who knows? We'll see if the stars align. Anyway, that's our show. Start with you, Cody. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Can't Heals with a Z. You can find me on Twitch at Can't Heals with a Z. You can find me on YouTube, the real Can't Heals,
Because
or
With
the
a
Can't
Z?
Heals, one of the two with a Z. You can find me on Facebook at Can't Heals with a Z.
he'll find it.
Yeah, Can't Heals like any social media thing. It's just Can't Heals with a Z, except for YouTube
He'll find it. Dom? And that hat.
and a grave.
It's my, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's my Happy New Year hat. See, Happy New Year, Happy New Year.
So where can they find
Hey.
you, Dom?
Times Square. You can find me down below, or down here, at Zista, XIZTA, with an underscore at the end. You can also find me on YouTube. For all these podcasts, you can find me at /deadzista with no underscore. And you can also find me and Mike on As Seen on TV podcast, ASO TV podcast on YouTube, youtube.com/ASOTV podcast, where all the shows are coming back from the winter break next week. So we'll be back in full swing of things very soon. Also picking up Gallivant, which is going to be hysterical. Just think Monty Python meets The Princess Bride. And due to some technical errors, our Marvel Phase 3 discussion podcast will be up later tonight. All 2 hours of that, 2.5 hours of that, so
God,
enjoy.
it was really that long. Can't believe we talked about it for that much. Anyway, I'm Mike. You can find me on Twitter at Philadrin. Also on Twitch at Philadrin. I don't usually stream much, but recently been doing some Dragon Age Inquisition as I got it over the holidays. Might even make a YouTube series of Bearded Mage Goes Dragon Slaying. That ought to be fun. It's gonna suck. Anyway, you can find me there. You can find all of us here on, for the time being, Twitch TV/Zista every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m., 6:30 Pacific. You can tweet us questions at BlizzardBT all throughout the week, and call us live during the show on Skype using the name BlizzardBT. Have a lovely night, everybody.
Well, hold on.
I got
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. That is a bottle of antifreeze.
That's freaking.
It's really not. Goodbye, everybody.